back to my YouTube channel. I have a little Heidi face sat down here on her rocker. She's going through a bit of a sleep regression at the moment and really fighting her naps. So if you can hear like a slightly vibrating chair, that is why. If not, thank goodness. Today I'm doing an old classic video and I'm talking about all of my favourite products so far in 2019. I realise that we are like in April already, which is crazy, but I just wanted to talk about a few products, well, quite a few products that I've been loving, kind of all up until this year so far. So this ranges from beauty, lifestyle, some hair bits as well, some tan stuff. So there's a lot to talk about, so I'm going to dive straight in. So the first thing I want to talk about is my Hydrate Mate water bottle. I think I've spoken about this a long time ago on this channel, but I have been loving this so far this year. I used to take this to work with me all the time and I used to drink a lot more water because of it, and I think since I've been off of work I've just not really reached for it. I put it in my cupboard when I emptied my work bag when I went on maternity leave, and I never really reached for it again. But I spoke about not drinking enough water. I definitely need to drink more, and this is such a good way of just reminding you how much to drink, to refill it in the middle of the day and then start again. I have really been enjoying it and I love the design. Rich got one that's very similar as well because he's trying to increase his water intake, so together we're being quite good mascots for each other. I love these water tracking bottles. I think it just makes it so much easier to just track how much water you're having and make sure you're having enough. So this has definitely been one of my favourites this year so far. Now the next product, this is in no particular order and it's so random, but it's my new Tangle Teezer. So Rich got me this one for Christmas, and I felt like I was falling out of love a little bit with Tangle Teezers because I had one for so long, but I think it's because I had the same one for so long and I hadn't replaced it. It didn't really work as well, and I found that since using my new one, this has just worked so many more wonders for my hair and it makes such a difference. So it reminds me that I need to replace them often, but I've just absolutely loved it. Not only is it beautiful in design, it's marble and then it's that like millennial pink colour, really gorgeous. But it just works so well. It makes brushing my hair really easy. Whenever I blow dry my hair, I always find it gets really tangled quite easily, and this just makes it easy work of getting any knots out and just making it really easy just to brush through my hair. So I've been absolutely loving this. So next up are two beauty products that I've been really loving. This foundation is one that I've gone and worn every single day. You would have seen it if you watched my 10-minute makeup routine video, but this is the MAC Face and Body Foundation. This is pretty much out as well, which I'm gutted about. I have loads of other foundations that I want to use through before I were to repurchase this. But this has just been my go-to for like a light dewy skin if I'm doing like a makeup no makeup day, or if I want to build this up and get a little bit more coverage, it also works so well. I love the fact it's so light on the skin and it just doesn't feel like you have foundation on. Some foundations can feel quite thick and heavy, whereas this one, even if you build it up, just feels very refreshing, and you can powder it down for a matte finish or not if you want something more dewy. So this has been just my foundation of choice ever since I've had Heidi really, and people always compliment me on my skin and I just put it down to this. So as you might be able to tell, I've got a bit of a tan on at the moment, and when my foundations don't quite match my skin, instead of getting like multiple foundations for all different like skin tones that I might be, I really rely on this Tonic shade adjusting like adjustment drops. So these will make any foundation a little bit darker so that you can mix it in with your skin, and I found that I don't even do a drop, I just put whatever's on the end of this like pipette into my foundation, mix it around, and it's a perfect colour for when I am a little bit more tanned. And this was so cheap. I think that Tonic is in itself a really affordable brand, but I just find that this is so much easier than buying multiple different foundations. It's much cheaper too, and I've had this now, I got this last year, I remember probably about this time last year, because I got this before I went on holiday and I just thought that this was so good, and I've not even used any of it and it's already a year old. So I'll probably have to throw it out because I'm sure that it will expire. I mean, it says it will expire in 12 months, but I'll keep an eye on it and keep using it until I think it has gone off a bit. But just so good, and just generally shade enhancing or lightening drops are so good to have in your makeup collection to make anything just a little bit more versatile. Two skincare bits to move on to. First of all is the moisturiser that I've been using so much, and this is the Clinique Dramatically Different Hydrating Jelly. You can probably see just how much of this I have used. I find that since having a baby, my skin is just so lackluster and it needs a lot more moisturiser. It's so dehydrated, and I just find that a couple of pumps of this before I go to bed, or if I wake up, sometimes I'll put a pump on before I put foundation on, just makes my skin just feel and look just a little bit more hydrated, and just, I don't know, it gives me a bit more life to my skin. I really love this. I hadn't tried many Clinique products before. Last year I did work with Clinique and I was sent this one, and I absolutely loved it, and I've since continued to use it, so I've really enjoyed that. And another skincare product, this is like a must, is an eye cream, but this in particular is the Nivea Q10 Plus C Anti-Wrinkle and Energy Eye Cream for tired skin and fine lines. I think that just sums up motherhood in a slogan. I definitely don't get as much sleep as I used to, and I feel like my eyes are definitely the first place that if I don't have enough sleep, it shows on my eyes straight away. So this has got vitamin C in it, so it helps to make your eye area look like it's got a little bit more energy to it, which I love. And I'm also now 24, going to be 25 this year, so I need to start thinking about anti-wrinkle stuff. So I got this, I'm pretty sure it was on offer in Superdrug, but generally Nivea skincare isn't that expensive, and I think that their skincare is really good. I've used quite a lot of their products before in the past, really rate them, and yeah, I absolutely have been loving using this. I use this morning and night just to give my eyes a bit more of a refresh, and yeah, absolutely been loving it. Next up is the powder that I've been using, and I want to mention this because I have literally used it every single day since, again, I was sent this by the brand, and this is the Snow Crystal Custom Colour System. So this is their powder and highlight. So the powder itself is a little bit darker, and the highlight, I mean, to be honest, the highlight isn't like a blinding highlight at all. So what I do when I'm a little bit paler, I mix the two together. When I am a little bit more tan like I am now, I'll use just the powder, and it sets my face really nicely, and it keeps my skin proper matte all day, which I love. I need stuff that's just more reliable. I can't be like touching up my makeup all day, because carrying all my makeup as well as all of Heidi's stuff whenever we're going out and about just doesn't work. So I need something that I can trust, and yeah, this has just been a godsend. So I've used this literally daily, and what I like about these is that you can just take them in and out and replace just the pans when you finish one up, so it makes it a little bit more sustainable as well, but loving that. And one more skincare item, I think maybe there's another one, are these Pixie Glow Glycolic Acid Boost. So this is part of their like Glow Tonic range. I'm sure that's what you know Pixie mainly for. Their Glow Tonic is just like their coveted product. So they've basically put that technology into a tissue mask. And tissue masks are one of my favourite masks to use. I think I used to love peel off masks more, but I think that this is just so much easier. These are just so much easier because you put the mask on, you take it off, and then you're done. You don't need to worry about peeling it or washing it off or anything like that. So I've been absolutely loving this. Again, so kindly gifted this by the brand, but I love it because it's got glycolic acid in it. It's got witch hazel as well, which is amazing for your skin. And I just leave this on, well, it says 10 to 15 minutes, but I normally leave it on closer to half an hour if I'm having a bit more of a chill day. And yeah, it's just so good. It's so good, especially if you have a bit of like puffiness. Love it so much. And then I follow on with the Glow Tonic as well, and their products are just made to work together, so I absolutely love that one. So this might be the most random thing to include, but I thought I'd include it anyway because it is definitely one of my favourite things that I've picked up. These are vacuum storage bags. So much fun, but particularly good when you have a baby that is growing out of a lot of clothes very quickly. So for two of these, they were £2.50, and I got them from B&M. First off, I love these so much because they smell like fresh linen, and they actually smell good as well. I thought that that would make it better if I'm storing clothes as well, because obviously when you store things, they can get like, they can smell a little bit afterwards, so I thought that this might help prevent them from stinking too much. But these are also a really good size, as you can probably tell. They are massive, and you get 2 in a pack for £2.50, which I thought was such a good bargain. I've been on the hunt for storage bags to put all of Heidi's old clothes in that she's now grown out of. These are perfect as well because we will put all of her clothes in the loft should we have another girl. And obviously with vacuum bags is that you just vacuum it out and it just compresses the storage amount to less. So it says here it saves up to 70% more space. And these are in size 60 to 80 centimetres to give you an idea of how big they are. But I've put all of her 0 to 3 clothes in one of these already, and I picked up 2 lots of these. So I have enough for like 3 to 6, 6 to 9, and then 9 to 12 as well. So I thought that that would keep us going for a while. But I did see quite a few of these like around different places, but I thought the fact that these have a scent as well will make it even better. So that's another like totally random favourite so far this year. So I have 4 more things that I'm going to just quickly whiz through as I'm aware this video might get a little long. So this is my VO5 heat protection spray. I thought I'd mention this because I have used this again every single day this year without really noticing, but when I went to get my hair done recently, my hairdresser said that my hair didn't look heat damaged at all, which is surprising because I do mainly straighten my hair if I ever do style it, and whenever I do straighten it or hair dry it, I always use this heat protection spray. It says it's up to 230 degrees heat defense. I remember getting 2 of these in Superdrug on some kind of offer, and I absolutely love it. Really, really easy to use, but I always make sure I use a heat defense spray before I style my hair or put any heat to it. So I thought I'd mention that one. This is the Palmer's massage lotion for stretch marks. If you remember watching my pregnancy updates, you would have known that I raved about this whilst I was pregnant, and whilst I still got stretch marks from having Heidi, I find that these are really helping to reduce the appearance of my postpartum stretch marks. So if you watch my postpartum updates, you'll see month by month how my stretch marks are looking. And a product that I really thank for how kind of my stretch marks are going down, I got them really bad the last few weeks, is definitely these products. I mean, this is in a line of the whole like stretch mark range that they have and I love, but this in particular just really absorbs really quickly. I find that their butter is a little bit more thick, whereas this, especially if you're just popping out or something and just want to put something on your belly, this works really well. Plus, even if you're not pregnant but looking for something for stretch marks, this range is really good, so I thought I would mention that. And a few of you have been asking what tan I've been using because I am looking a little bit more golden at the moment, and also Rich's sister asked as well, so I thought I'd mention it because I've used that much of it in not a very long time. This is the Bondi Sands Everyday Gradual Tanning Milk. Now, I have a love-hate relationship with fake tan. I love it when it's on. I hate the ones that you just haven't used before and risk the fact of it being too dark or too orange. I have very fair skin, so if a tan has too much of an orange undertone, it really stands out on my skin. And anything too heavy, and plus as well, being a mum, putting tan on and then showering a little bit later, and sometimes you can't plan to do that. So what I love about this is that it's an everyday gradual tanning milk, so that it will just gradually build up if you want something more darker, or if you just want to refresh it a little bit, you can put it on and it fades so well. That is my favourite thing about this product, is that when it begins to fade, instead of kind of like crossing a little bit at like your creases, or it can look a bit kind of tiger roll-ish, if you know what I mean. This just fades really evenly, it doesn't crack, it doesn't do anything like that. So I've been loving this, but I am almost out, which I'm gutted about because I've just gone through it so quick because I have loved it. I've put on a few layers to get this kind of golden tan, but again, tans don't usually last all that long on me either, so really love that. And I just used the Bondi Sands like velvet mitt to go with this, and I get a really even tan, especially for someone that's a total tan rookie. And I have my last thing to talk about includes getting photos printed. So I know this is probably the most random favourite ever, but I have always been an advocate of getting photos printed. So if they're on your phone, on a camera, whatever, make sure you get photos printed, because all it takes is losing your phone or a camera or whatever, and suddenly they're gone and you don't have a copy. So whilst I also back up my phone on my Mac, because if I were to lose my phone, I'd lose all the newborn photos of Heidi, which would be devastating, I also want to get them physically printed, put them in a photo album, and so we have something physical to look back on. So my two favourite apps for getting photos printed has been free prints. Now with free prints you get 50 free prints a month, and all you do is pay postage. So for 50 prints it's $3.99 postage, and so that works out I think about 8p a photo, which isn't too bad. And you just upload them from your phone and then they print them, you can resize them, make sure they're how you want, which is perfect. And I then discovered that Snapfish do exactly the same thing. So I would actually probably recommend Snapfish more, just because you get the 50 free prints, but postage is only $2.99. So I have 50 prints in here. I did print a few more extra here because I just wanted to, all of these include from when she was born until after Christmas. So I think I paid £4.80 in total for all of these, which isn't bad. I think there's 72 photos here. And these ones were $2.99 for 50, but Snapfish is cheaper and you can choose whether to do like a glossy finish or a matte finish. So those are my last two favourites to talk about, but I just find it so important to print photos. I'm going to get some photo albums as well, sort them out, write little messages on the back of some of the photos, because my mum and dad did that when I was younger and it's just such a nice keepsake. So I hope that you enjoyed what I've been loving so far this year. These are definitely some of my favourite products, and whilst they're slightly random, I have just really enjoyed those assortment of products. And when I was thinking about filming this video, those were the things that came to mind that I just had to mention. So I hope that you've enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up if you haven't. Don't forget to subscribe down below if you want more kind of wacky videos like this and you want to just keep up to date with how me and Heidi are getting on. Then yeah, don't forget to subscribe and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys!